Hey, it's Jaden.
And Melissa.
And Christy.
We're the co-founders of Launchers Academy.
And we help dropshippers become successful by providing the most relevant e-commerce strategies.
You're tuning into the Launchers Academy podcast experience,
where you will learn all the ins and outs of how to build your very own successful dropshipping store.
So kick back, take lots of notes, and let's make money this year.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Launchers Academy podcast experience. Today we have a very interesting topic to talk about, and that's dropshipping versus private labeling. And we're going to talk a bit about why, you should pick dropshipping versus private labeling, as that's the strategy that we follow. And then we're going to talk a bit about the pros and cons of both, so that you can really get a sense of which path to take in starting your first e-commerce business. So again, with dropshipping, just to kind of go over that, to remind you of what exactly it is you're working with a supplier who's going to manage all the shipping and inventory for you, so you don't have to deal with that process as you are building your e-commerce business. And then private labeling is when you're taking an existing product and putting your own brand and logo onto that product. So with private labeling, you're essentially really focusing on taking a product that's already there and you're putting your own label on it and selling that product without even really understanding that if it's going to be, successful in the market or not. So there are some risks involved with private labeling versus dropshipping, where you are, testing out different products first and then seeing which product really makes you sales and is in demand. So just to kind of summarize what dropshipping versus private labeling is. And today I also want to talk about, along with Jaden and Melissa here, the pros and cons of both. When you see someone that's looking into starting their first e-commerce business, which one do you think would be the better approach, right? Versus dropshipping versus private labeling. So Jaden, why don't I go to you first here, and if you could share one pro and one con of dropshipping versus private labeling.
So I would say one pro is for those that are more adamant towards private labeling. Private labeling is good because it empowers your brand recognition, and at the end of the day, who doesn't want to have their own brand on all over the packaging and sent to a customer, which is great because the end goal with dropshipping is not to stay as a dropshipper, but to be a brand owner. So the pro of it is, you're able to empower your brand recognition and really have people buy products with all of your content out there. But that's at a later point. So the con of private labeling is the fact that you are pretty much investing all your efforts into something that you probably haven't seen success right off the bat. So, you may hear from other people that private labeling is the way to go. This is what you need to do. And you should build a brand first. But that is not all true. It's not very accurate, because you can still build a brand, but not yet. You need to go through the steps first, see some results first, see some success first to be able to actually get there. And that's where dropshipping comes in, because dropshipping is just a leverage that allows you to test, find, and exploit certain products that have any, market demand at all. And at the end of the day, we are just trying to find market demand. And once we find that, it'll be more safe for us to go to private labeling, because we have seen firsthand results looking at our store and seeing the revenue jump up, but not firsthand experience in terms of you've done your research or seen other people sell it well. So private label isn't good in that sense, but it's also a huge risk if you haven't seen any revenue or success within your own store, because at the end of the day, once you private label, you private label. You're not going to be able to private label 15 other products, because when you private label, you are paying for all the design, you're paying for the inventory up front, and dropshipping is just a lot more safer in that route. So the con for you to understand with that specifically is the amount of time you're investing into something that has zero results for you right off the bat.
Love that. I think that's such a great explanation of, between drop shipping and private labeling. And just going back to our previous episodes about talking about, starting a general store versus a one product store. So when you are starting off with an e-commerce business and starting off with drop shipping, you are essentially just testing out products first before you really dedicate yourself to one particular product and start building a big brand around that. And that's where private labeling comes later on in the process, which is, you can think of it in two parts. So first part being drop shipping and testing products, and then second part being the private labeling aspect and building your big brand around that winning product. So going over to you now, Melissa, what is one pro and one con between for drop shipping versus private labeling?
Yeah, for sure. So similar to what Christy said, this is what I always like to say about dropshipping. Dropshipping is never the end goal. Dropshipping is really for you to validate that there is a product demand and your Facebook pixel and the methods that you are using to advertising is receptive to your product. And once you have that going for you, which is through consistent sales, and you're really seeing those sales come in day over day, week over weeks, and the month over months, that's when you want to shift the business more into that branded store approach, which is where you can utilize private labeling for you to decrease your costs, because when you do that, you order in bulk for your inventory, so you really see the cost per unit of your product go down, and it saves you on your profit margins. And that's where you can really start building that brand community and a brand around your product that you know already works. However, if you start private labeling right away, one thing that you really have to do right off the bat is order a lot of inventory. And generally for any e-commerce store, the two biggest costs that you're going to have if you have inventory is your inventory costs as well as your advertising costs. If you're already spending money on inventory, even though you don't know if it's going to work or not, a lot of people we've seen in the industry that do go the private labeling route is that they buy a lot of products, but they end up not being able to sell these products because either they don't know who the target markets are, because they haven't even sold the product yet, so they still have to refine that, or the product just doesn't have that demand out there where they are able to sell all these units. So what ends up happening is not only they spend money on inventory costs, but warehousing costs start going up, because every month that you don't sell your inventory, you're going to have to pay a warehouse to situate your inventory, unless you leave it at your own house, which, I mean, that's probably not the ideal case as well. There's opportunity costs there. So your costs are really going to start to rack up if you're not able to sell all of that inventory that you have on hand. Because now what are you going to do next? You can either continue to try to sell these unwanted inventory where even after you sell these units, because there's no demand, you're not going to go back to ordering more. Or you can basically throw all of this money that you just wasted on inventory down the drain and try to sell another product with your private label, but you also don't know if that's going to work. And you're going to rinse and repeat this process until you find something that works. But at the end of the day, if you do go with this route, you're not only wasting money, but you're also wasting a lot of time, because you're testing one product by one product, ordering inventory by inventory, and you don't even know if something's going to work.
Hey, it's Jaden. Are you enjoying our episode so far, or our episodes before that? Well, if you are, we just want to thank your loyalty and support for listening to our podcast, because we cannot grow without you. So that's why up to this point, we're going to give you exclusive access where no one else has, in order for us to help you succeed in drop shipping. And this is how it's helped our students become successful. And what we are going to share with you is one of our proven steps in order to find winning products that we believe you would enjoy. So in order for you to claim your exclusive access, all you have to do right now is open up your desktop or your mobile and go to launchersacademy.com/method. That's launchersacademy.com/method. And you'll get a lot of value from there. And also, more importantly, you'll find out exactly how to find your winning products and how it's helped our current students find their winning product, and you'll be on your way to success. So that's launchersacademy.com/method.
When it comes to starting off with private labeling, you're definitely looking at a lot of costs, right? There's just so much that, especially with inventory, that really adds risk and cost to just getting started at the very beginning. And when you are starting out, you're still learning the different strategies and the different processes. So that's where drop shipping comes in, where it's, there's a lower barrier to entry and lesser risk with managing inventory because the supplier is managing all of that for you. And going back to some previous examples of, yes, there are a lot of brands within the industry as well that started in drop shipping just because, it's easier to just test out some products first before you really dedicate to one product and invest all your money and time into private labeling. So a lot of big brands out there did start off with drop shipping and then eventually they're able to scale into the millions with a particular product that they were able to do private labeling as well. So just kind of for people that are starting out, starting with the drop shipping model and then going into private labeling, what would you two say in terms of some tips that they could, the audience here can take away with going from drop shipping into private labeling. So Jaden, why don't I start with you? And if you have any tips on, what people can consider when they do start looking into private labeling.
Yeah, I would say two things. One is you want to know exactly when you should consider getting into drop shipping. And what we tell our students is when they're making at least $1,000 a day consistently, that's when they can consider private labeling. So buying the inventory up front, slapping their logo and their branding all over the packaging, and also dealing with warehousing and fulfillment centers. So when you're making at least $1,000 a day, that's a good enough spot for you in terms of two things. It's just revenue. You have a consistent flow of revenue that you can use that, cash flow to fund your inventory, not for you to fund out of your own pocket. And also two is that there's real demand, right? If you're making $1,000 a day, you have a good group of audience, good group of community and people that are going to buy your product. So at that point, you can lower your margins and pay peanuts per units and then actually make good money. And also being able to actually have your name and branding everywhere. So that way you're not just drop shipping a product. Okay. So I would just say that $1,000 a day. But my tip is once you do jump over into the private labeling, it really pays dividends for you to really understand what your brand is all about. And that's going to translate into your content, your packaging. So know exactly who your customer is, who your audience is. So if you're a beauty brand, for example, and you're targeting to the Gen Z or the millennials, there's a certain type of packaging that really just stands out to them or speaks to them as if you were targeting baby boomers or just, individuals above the ages of 45, because certain packages only stand out to those group of demographics. So my tip is just really understand your brand, who you're targeting to, the colors, the packaging, the design, the concept, and the logo. It all make more sense because you know who you're targeting, because that's going to be super important. It needs to stand out. And whenever you eventually do get your product on the shelf of really big box retailers, your box is the first thing that speaks to them. The packaging speaks to them. So the more you understand who you're targeting, the clearer your logo, your concept, and colors will, be, and it'll speak out to the people who just come by and go like, "Ooh, this looks really good." So that would be my tip.
Yeah, I completely agree with just really understanding your target audience when you do go into private labeling and start customizing your product, customizing your packaging. And that's where dropshipping also comes in, where you're gathering the data of your target audience and understanding them fully before you really start customizing your product and investing a lot more time, again, and money into really making this product appeal to your target audience. Now jumping over to you, Melissa. So for people that are looking, to go from drop shipping into private labeling, what are some tips that you would share with the audience here?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about data, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this here. Data is the most valuable digital asset that you're going to have in your business. And the reason why is because you can do a lot of things with data. So once you validate that this is a actual product, that is a very good product that you want to take into the long term, like Jaden said, with a consistent income over months of sales, you now have at least a few months of sales data that you can utilize to really help you with building your brand. So rather than, coming up with something that you think customers would like with your brand logo, messaging, positioning, which is very important, marketing, and how you go about doing that, you now have months of data that you can really utilize to help you with identifying who exactly your customer profiles are. And then everything you're going to do when you build that brand is going to tailor towards this one ideal client avatar that you have based on all of the data that you have through your sales. From there, you can think about what actually appeals to them. How would you word your marketing messages? Or how would you build your community? What do they stand for? What are their values? And then you can position yourself as, the solution to whatever problem that they have for this product, in your product helping to solve that issue. And then also using all of this to help you further along with all your marketing videos, marketing ads, messaging, community building, and all of that to really build this brand when you do private label into something that is so much bigger and so much faster than if you were to start this from scratch but had absolutely no data.
Love that. I think it's so important, with the drop shipping model to start off with that and gather, again, all the data of your target audience and their purchasing behavior. And also, when it comes to the website, what exactly attracts to your target audience to buy from you before you really dive, further into your private labeling your product and spending a lot of more money with inventory and building your brand and, with your social media and working with influencers. There's so much more you can do later on in the process. But when you are starting out again with drop shipping, it's a lot. I would say more not easier, but a lot more smoother process to start with that first versus, jumping right into private labeling. So today we shared a lot about, some pros and cons of the both drop shipping versus private labeling. And again, with drop shipping, it's just so much better to start with that. And that's the right way to really get started in e-commerce because essentially, as we always say, you're testing out different products first before you really focus into one particular product and spend a lot of time and money into it because e-commerce does take time and money to really grow and scale. So you want to make sure that the product that you're selling is definitely in demand and you want to really gather as much data as possible before you do private labeling. So today it's been a pleasure just sharing, drop shipping versus private labeling. So do take those tips that we shared today, and we definitely recommend starting off with drop shipping to test out products first to find your winner, and then later on you can do private labeling to really scale it into the millions. So it's been great talking today and sharing a lot of tips. Do join us again for our next episodes where we talk a lot more about drop shipping and making sales and the different approaches within drop shipping as well as some e-commerce platforms that we highly recommend. So do join us again next episodes and take care.
Did you enjoy this episode?
If you did, which we believe you did, as we dropped a ton of value.
Support us by giving us a 5-star rating.
That's 5 stars, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars.
Also, we'd love to hear from you, so please leave your comment below.
And we'll be sure to get back to you. Take care, and until next time.